decided one daily segment wasn't enough for Bill Bush and Bill's Thrills, so we turned it into a week-long podcast recap. Here's Bill's Thrills Rewrapped, sponsored by Acres Equipment on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Bill, it's a Football Facts Monday. We had head scratchers last segment. What do we had today for Football Facts?
Something new. You're probably going to hit this every Monday. A football smorgasbord. A football smorgasbord.
Oh, this is new.
This is new. Things that happened during that are just mind-blowing. Let's start off with coaching. Northwestern, overtime versus Duke. Friday night.
Who won that game?
Duke. It's 3rd and 1. Duke is ahead by 6. If Northwestern scores, gets the 2-point play, they win. It's 3rd and 1 at the 3-yard line. 3rd and 1 at the 3. Oh, and by the way, they've been handing the ball off to their running back and just gouging Duke.
Okay.
Just gouging him. Just unbelievable. Well, two downs to get 1 yard for the first down, go in and score. Easy to probably score right here, like that. They went quarterback sweep, lost 10 yards. They went quarterback sweep. He bubbled. I thought it was a pass. He bubbled out, lost 10 yards. Now it's 4th and 11.
Bubbled out.
Yeah. Incomplete pass, game over. Coaching error. Notre Dame, 5 minutes to go. They're up by 1. I swear it was because they just got nervous about the score. And they tried to, and all of a sudden, they don't have to throw it. Just run the ball, punt the ball, pin them down in deep. Nope, it's 1st and 10. They go for the double post. Interception, they run it back 40 yards. That's how they lost the game.
Northern Illinois ran it back.
They got all the yards back. It was a coaching error beyond belief. Remember, Denbrock's, I think, the highest paid offensive coordinator in the country right now. It's like $2.5 million a year.
Denbrock.
Yeah, and they put up
14.
Put up 14. That's what they did.
Against Northern Illinois.
Yes,
not great.
On their home field.
Leading Heisman candidate right now, Dart. Put him in right now.
Jackson Dart, Ole Miss.
He completed 24 in a row. Now, they're not against great competition, but I'm just telling you right now, Dart's something special.
Jackson.
Fitness timeouts. It's incredible, the rule that you have to be the fittest coach because if you're down by the goal line, you have to sprint down. And all of a sudden, all the not so fit coaches are in a pickle because they got to sprint down there. The number of times I saw coaches running down to call the timeout. You're telling me they can't have someone in the box by the coach just going like, whoop, blow the whistle. Coach just called timeout. I know you couldn't see him down there, but I could see it from here. Instead, imagine all of a sudden the sprint down that you have to do.
Yeah.
Right now, Andy Reid, even in the NFL, has to sprint down the sidelines to get the call.
I mean, me and you would struggle with that.
It'd be struggling right
It's a good picture.
Yeah, fitness timeouts is crazy.
Yeah, and we're fit.
Yeah, we're pretty fit. We do fitness. Muffed punts. Oh man, cost Arkansas the game. Muffed punts. Arkansas muffs a punt. That's how Oklahoma State got. It was 21-7. They'd stopped him. They muffed a punt, and they get back in it. I think the total yardage was like 630 to 3 something.
Arkansas was pretty far up,
Arkansas
weren't they?
just
Their quarterback can move it.
Arkansas was, and they ran the ball.
They took an L, though?
Beating the crap out of them.
Gundy.
Day one fundamentals cost Wake Forest the game. They're driving to win the game against Virginia. They catch a pass, and he fumbles the ball. And the receiver comes up to be able to recover the ball. He tried to pick it up, scoop it, and advance it. He drops the ball. Virginia gets on it. Game over. All they had to do was fall on the ball, and they were in field goal range. He tried to pick it up. Had never been taught how to recover a fumble.
Day one fundamentals.
Cost him right there.
Did you think he was taught and he just didn't do it?
Could be a potential of those things. The other thing, too, is the spot but Notre Dame game. We talk about refereeing, which I texted you guys for the Nebraska game. These guys will never work again, probably. They went both ways on some calls. But anyway, the spot in the Notre Dame game was something that was just ridiculous. Northern Illinois is running the football before they kick the winning field goal. They get the first down by a yard. His waist is laying on the deal. They mark him short. So with that, they had to kick the ball then. If they don't, they could have ran the clock down to 2 seconds and
then kicked it.
But guess what? Notre Dame had a chance. The spot by the ref, it was horrendous.
How does that?
It was just.
How does that happen?
It was
Bill?
just horrendous. Which I've brought up on the show before. That there should be a spotter that stands right on the first down mark because that's the important spot. If it's 3 yards short of the first down or they make it by 3, not a big deal. How many times in the game you're going like, whoa, this spot's really important? Happens like 8 to 10 times a game. Just have an official that stands right on the spot. I've got this one because the person is running down with them, then trying to figure it out on the run where the spot was. But it was, and they play it back. So they challenged it. Northern Illinois challenged it. They're like, well, not enough evidence there to be able to tell. His waist is laying on the
That's
on the marker.
unfortunate.
And it could have been.
Could have blown it.
What if they come back and win that game?
That'd be horrifying.
It was horrible spot by them. so many things going on. So many things happened. It was fun to be able to see. The play by Northwestern was mind-boggling. They ran the ball right down the throat. Just hand the ball. Inside zone is going to be a touchdown probably. They can't stop them. And the coordinator got out over his skis.
Overthought it.
Boom.
Overthinking
stuff. So a lot of things went down in that. With what happened
Bill,
yesterday.
Think about this, guys. College football right now. How much has happened already in this? And it's September 9th?
Yep.
September 8th.
September 9th.
I mean, look at Texas. Texas has asserted himself. Texas has asserted itself as almost like a no-doubter college football playoff team. Florida State's out. Notre Dame's out. Just think of everything that's happened very quickly.
2 weeks in.
Yeah.
2 weeks in.
Notre Dame's probably out.
Yeah.
Florida State's out. Texas is, geez. I mean, they're a wow.
Texas missed a field goal on their first drive. They didn't punt. They missed a field goal, and then they went touchdown, field goal, touchdown. They could have scored in their first 5 drives against the defense, which probably is potentially the best D line in the country.
Right. Didn't look like it, though.
Didn't look like it.
I watched that game. I watched 3/4 of it.
Michigan's got issues.
Yeah, and Texas doesn't.
Does not.
Texas, Quinn Ewers.
And
is
I
good.
like that Texas is ranked second because they went and played Michigan at Michigan. So they stood. I give them.
Who's
credit.
number 1, though?
What's that? Georgia. Kirby.
Your boy Kirby. Sip is going to love this because today is Bugaboo Tuesday, and later on, it's NFL winners and losers. 2 of your favorite segments of the entire week.
Okay.
On a Tuesday.
Bugaboo.
Things that bother me.
Things that bother Bill.
Things that bother me.
What is bothering Bill
Things
today?
are bothering me, and it's just more about history right now. And Jake will not get this, and Ben will be completely disheveled. He'll have no idea.
Disheveled.
I'm telling you right now, Steve Sipple will be locked in. He'll
Locked.
understand
I'm
this.
totally locked.
Bugaboos, things that bother me. The tragedy of TV technology. The tragedy of TV technology. What today's youth will never understand. I went back to better times.
It's
The awesomeness of better TV times. No one will ever understand until you went back in time the distance that we used to sit in front of the humongous TV to watch Saturday morning cartoons. They'll never understand what it was like to sit on the floor, eat cereal, and watch, and then watch
Indian style.
Yeah. And watch.
I can say that.
I did this.
Yeah.
I did it too.
And
Oh, did you? Okay.
And watch Roadrunner. And watch the Roadrunner be on early.
Absolutely.
Oh, it's incredible.
Absolutely.
Looney Tunes.
Yes, Looney
I mean,
Tunes.
it's 6 o'clock. Now they have the Cartoon Network. When can you watch it? 24/7.
Right.
No, it was on one time, Saturday morning, in front of you, sat in front of this large TV. Your parents still be asleep, eating cereal. Eating cereal.
A lot of cereal.
Here's the next thing you miss about the old school TVs like that. When you used to turn the TV off, they had tubes, and the little spot would go down to the middle, and you would sit and stare at it from a foot away when it went all the way down to when you couldn't see it anymore. You would sit and stare. When you'd be you'd be 2 inches from it. When you turned it off, the tube would go whoop, and it started just to go down like this, and it would go to one little pinhole, and you would watch it to the very end.
Make sure it went down.
And then your mom would tell you might go blind. For doing that.
Oh, yeah.
that
I
was
told that
common.
many times.
That was common right there.
Sit too close, you're going to go blind.
Yeah, the next one of the big TV, because of the timing of it like that, Jake's going to miss the sign-off, the Star-Spangled Banner.
That was amazing.
That was
I didn't
amazing.
get that.
The TV
was
sign
weird.
off. It'd be about midnight or so like
Yeah.
that was it. They'd end the programming.
Right. After Johnny Carson.
After Johnny Carson, they'd
Yeah.
end the programming,
Yeah.
and then they'd play the national anthem.
National anthem.
And they'd play the national anthem with the flag,
Yep.
and then that was it. And then it just went to static. Just went to static.
So true.
Could you imagine TVs?
It was weird. It was kind of odd.
It was. Also, you said, you want to watch some more? Can't. TV's off. Never going to see
There's
that.
nothing else on.
Never going to see that one. How about this one, Steve? Got another one for you. Oh, got bad weather out, electricity. You had to unplug the TV. You unplugged the TV in case your antenna got hit. If your antenna got hit by light, it'd blow your TV up. True story. Right away, your parents say, "Hey, unplug the TV immediately." You unhook the antenna and you unplug the deal. Imagine that right now. Imagine there's a storm outside telling Laura.
had to do that.
Oh, you did? Oh, absolutely. You had to unplug your TV.
I don't think we did that in a Sipple house.
I'm telling you, breakers sign in on this one.
I don't
I want to
think-
know.
You got lucky then. You got
Then
lucky.
every house had an antenna. a giant antenna on top,
so
and then
weird.
on your TV you had a rotary.
When you think about it, it was weird.
It was a giant antenna. And then you had a rotary on your deal, and you would turn it and make it. So if you all of a sudden wanted to watch a station out of Omaha, you had to turn it from Pender. If you want to watch Sioux City,
It's so weird when you think about it.
You had to turn it. And the last thing, Jake, the TV was made of wood. Your mom used Pledge on it. Your mom used lemon Pledge.
Yeah, and it was hard to lift.
No, wait, 400.
It was impossible
to lift. You had to move the TV. Impossible to lift.
Now you move those.
Yeah.
Now you can move those. You see dudes carrying big screens.
Yeah, it doesn't bother them at all.
Yeah. It
Jake,
takes 4 people to move the TV.
4 people, and you put Pledge on it. Your mom would.
Well, you put flowers on it.
Yeah, it'd be this complete decoration. It was part. Oh no, there was
decorated.
We had Christmas decorations on ours.
100.
There was
pictures, family pictures on it.
Family pictures.
Yeah.
You know what that was? Better times.
Way better times.
Better times.
Not even close.
Oh God, yeah. The end.
The sign off is fascinating.
Fascinating. I can remember it because you're kind of bummed too. So
Yeah.
It might be a Friday or Saturday. You're up kind of late, and all of a sudden, and that'll be the end of the programming for the day.
That's it.
And they'd play the national anthem.
That was it.
And the flag would be waving, and then it went to static.
Yep.
Then it went to static. That was it.
Yeah.
And you'd flip around, and something might be on until 1 o'clock on everybody. Nothing worth watching.
No, usually no. If you were really forcing it, if you tried it.
Yeah.
If you tried.
As you can assume, we have some response today.
Anything at all from that.
That was one of the
We
best
have
ones
some
ever.
response. Someone says, Sanderson says, Saturday morning, sitting on the heat vent, eating Captain Crunch and watching Super Friends.
Yes.
And
The heat
we
vent.
absolutely unplugged the TV. God bless you, Coach Bush.
You absolutely did. You unplugged the
heat
TV.
vent.
It's the first thing you did. There's lightning. Unplug the TV.
Maybe my dad wasn't.
Never a thought right now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Maybe my dad needed more safety lessons because I don't think we did that.
Now, Brad knows I feel the same way. He says, Foghorn, Leghorn, the best.
Oh,
God,
Foghorn, Leghorn.
The best. The best. Foghorn, Leghorn.
Roadrunner is hard.
That was good. Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah, he went through some bad times.
Rough
did.
times,
Rough
yeah.
times. He got
Joe says, better times. My dad had a TV and appliance store. My job every Saturday morning was to dust the TVs in the showroom.
That's incredible. That's awesome.
That's incredible.
Imagine you go, and then also, like you said, when you went in and saw the TVs lined up, but like you said, on our TV, we had Christmas decorations on our TV. 100% on our TV.
Sheridan Rock.
People say, yep, you definitely unplugged the antenna in the TV during the
Okay.
thunderstorm. That's the big thing.
God, I don't know
If you
that we
missed out,
did
apparently.
that.
Anything else, Jake, from the text line?
I'm looking at more, yeah. Kevin in Waukee says, I always knew Mom was dusting when the Pledge lemon scent filled the air.
Yes. Oh, it was
100.
Oh, yeah, it was great. Yeah.
100.
My mom used to put flowers on hers, and they leaked one time into the TV.
Oh God. Oh God. Usually sometimes they were fake like plastic flowers.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have to water them.
If somebody says, you're hit on the head this morning, Bill, I can still smell the Pledge today.
Yeah. Good smell.
But I'm telling you what, so he'd get up and be super quiet. And they started at 6. I'd be up like at 5:30 getting my cereal ready. It was the best. And then you always had then you go back and get some bonus cereal all the time. I got a little milk left.
Back in the day.
Lucky Charms. I think Captain Crunch was a classic. Compressed sugar is all it was, and it was unreal.
It was good.
Someone else says the TV set was huge, but the screen was 24 inches.
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
weighed-
not that big,
And it weighed 300 pounds easily.
Yeah, it was. The screen wasn't very big. It wasn't big.
It was so heavy.
Yeah, and then as I said, growing up, I don't know when we made the move, but I was out of high school. It never happened when I was in high school that we had a remote. They had to change the channel manually.
Yep.
Right, boom, boom. There's only like 3 to 4 stations.
I think by the time I got to high school, because I can remember my dad declaring several times, nobody leaves the house until we find the remote. I can remember that vividly.
Well, I'm going to say this
It was
right now.
we would go on lockdown.
I'm going to tell you right now, that still happens in our house right now. Seriously, where's the remote?
right.
We're not going anywhere.
Nobody leaves the house till the remote's found.
yeah,
And then you wouldn't believe what ensued then.
Yeah.
It was like a major. I mean, you do anything you could to find the remote.
A couple from YouTube. Jeremiah in South Carolina says, my grandparents' TV blew up in a thunderstorm. So
See?
unplugged the
Imagine all of a
TV,
sudden,
kids.
poof, gone.
The TV's
Maybe
gone.
we did.
When the TV
don't
repair,
remember that
when
part.
you your TV tube went out, a repairman showed up.
Yep.
Ted Von Sagern would show up from Gamble.
Ted
Von Sagern. He had the three Von Sagern boys, incredible athletes. Also, the Von Sagern boys, and Ted, their house was right across from the football field, and we went to their garage for halftime. That's where we went for halftime. That's where we went for oh yeah, you went right across into the Von Sagers, but he would show up with tubes, and he'd pull them out of this case, and he'd pull the TV out, and he'd put a new tube in. That was pricey. When the tube went out, that wasn't like
I wonder how much we talking. 500.
I don't know, but it was a big deal. It wasn't like, oh, whatever, tube's out, get another one. It's like, no. It's
what were
deal.
These?
Was that they're
No, what? No, but what were these? What was that time? Better times.
Better times.
Jake, say it.
Better times. Ross Sabonis, better times.
Jim Sabonis.
Jim Sabonis, whatever.
Did you call him Ross Sabonis? Jake, leave that one to me.
I mean,
leave that one to me.
Zip does it better than me.
Jim Sabonis, better time.
I know Ben has no idea that they're even with a TV like this, that they even existed.
Back to more of Bill's Thrills Rewrapped. Sponsored by Acres Equipment on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Bill, it's a Wild Card Wednesday, is that right, today?
Wild Card Wednesday. Also, with the election coming up, there's all this craziness going on.
Yep.
Just get a hold of the cash cows.
Yeah.
It's fun to make money during all this. Everybody's all worried about the election and what's going to do to the economy. No, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Get a hold of the cash cows and just roll. Just bathe in money is what you got to do.
I like to bathe in money.
It's incredible.
Wow, that's great.
We're going wild card and we're going football, Jake, if that's
I love
okay
it.
with you.
Please, yes.
Please.
I want to talk in-depth football on the Pac-12. I want to talk
Pac-12 is no longer.
Pac-12. Pac-2. Everyone is off to a 2-0 start.
Okay.
Oregon State and Washington State.
Really?
They're still the Pac-12. They are still the Pac-12. One of the two will get a trophy. One of the two teams will also get a trophy.
Are they doing that?
I cannot wait for that.
I can't wait for that. Yes, it's incredible.
Are they doing that?
They're off to a 2-0 start. And here's what I think is incredible I want to hit on. So this week is the Civil War. The Beavers versus the Ducks.
Yes.
So they're still playing the game. So yes, they got left behind. But guess what? They're still playing one of the biggest rivalry games that's going on, called the Civil War.
Yeah.
So that game is going, and that game,
that's this week.
That's at Oregon State. That place will be wound up. That's must-see TV.
Is it?
Absolutely. Then you've got the Apple Cup. Now, these two games used to always be the last game. The Apple Cup is Washington State, Washington.
Don't tell me they're playing this week.
They're playing this week, too. So the Apple Cup and the Civil War on the same week.
What a weekend.
The Pac-12 is alive and well. They're doing that. Now, that game's at Washington. I wish it was in the Palouse, but it's not. It's at Washington. And the thing about this is it comes up is, use the last game, all things. So what does this hurt and what is great? A couple things is this. So Oklahoma and Oklahoma State, they disperse. They leave. Which, do you really blame Oklahoma? Do you think Oklahoma State wouldn't have went to the SEC if they had been asked? Well, no, they'd have went.
Yeah, they're not getting asked.
They're not getting asked, but they would have went. So Oklahoma gets asked. So Oklahoma State does I'm going to take my ball and go home. We're not going to. Oklahoma wanted to continue to play Bedlam.
Okay.
Oklahoma State says no. Who's it hurt? The players and the fans. Imagine growing up in that game. Say you're a fifth-year senior, and you've been playing in Bedlam.
I agree.
And
I wish I could disagree.
How about the fandom? Do you not want to play that game?
Why don't you keep playing?
Just keep playing the game because they got upset. They feel Oklahoma screwed them by leaving and going to this.
They feel jilted.
Yeah, and so guess what? The other two didn't like that. Washington State and Oregon State, like, no, you guys want to play? They're like, yes, we want to play this game. It's important for the state of Washington, and it's important for the state of Oregon.
Wouldn't you say Bedlam's important for the state of Oklahoma?
Absolutely. There's been some great games, and I know Oklahoma State won the last one.
Interesting.
But would you not want to see that game? What if Bedlam was this weekend? Okay, would that not be interesting?
We have talked about having Gundy on, and what if Gundy was sitting in here? Would we just have to address it with him? We'd have to say, Mike, what's
the deal, man?
Why?
I think he's pretty pro to not play it.
I know. I think he is too.
And I understand why they're upset. But to not have it, which brings me to this point.
Okay.
Like I said, it only hurts the players and the fans. But rivalries are so important, which we hit on here. When you have to work, when you have people on your staff that study the other team 24/7, 365, it's a great deal. If you don't think that Michigan knows what Ohio State's doing every day, if you don't think Ohio State knows, if you don't,
do they?
Oh, they know, absolutely. You don't think they know? If all of a sudden it's spring recruiting or whatever, and all the coaches are out for Michigan, you think Ohio State doesn't know where they were?
Interesting.
They know where they were.
I never would have thought that.
But now, like I said before, on rivalries, both sides have to turn their keys. You don't get to claim it from one side. No. That's a rival, and the other side's like going, no, it's not. No, it's not. That's been a big detriment to Nebraska. They don't have a 24/7 365 team.
Some people are going to still try, and they do this. They try to sell Iowa. I don't buy it.
There's still it's big for Iowa, but that if you talk to Iowa fans, there's like, no, that's not our. Plus
it's Iowa State. It's Minnesota. It's Wisconsin.
Those are their rivals
before Nebraska.
And plus, because that goes back how long? I mean, Nebraska played Iowa like a few times when they were in opposite conference.
I'm going to tell you something, Bill, though. I heard from people the last time we went down this road, and they said, no, there's Iowa fans that hate Nebraska.
No, I agree that. I agree that they don't like him. But it's not Auburn, Alabama.
No.
It's
not Nebraska, Colorado.
No, it's not. Nebraska, Colorado's way bigger.
Right.
Way bigger.
Right.
And so when you don't have that rivalry, it stinks.
I know.
It really does. When you don't have someone that you know all the time, where it's just this passion of who's playing who.
Lost it in the Big Ten.
You lost it.
We did.
But I'm just, the Pac-12 is like, you know what? We're going to keep playing this.
Good.
These two, they're still going to play. Because that game, do you think Oregon State, what that crowd's going to be like playing
it'll
Oregon?
Be wild.
Wild.
It's hard edge.
I wish it was in the Palouse. It'd be such a hard
Washington
edge.
State, Washington, hard edge.
It'll still be a sold out crowd, and they're into it. And they'll show plays of the history of the Apple Cup, the history of the Civil War. All these things are going to come up. And
what a Saturday.
You need that in college football. You have to have rivalry games.
The way that Oregon's playing, would you be surprised if they lost that game? I mean, they're 16-point favorites against Oregon State. It's in Oregon State, though.
I don't know what Oregon State has.
I've not watched them in great detail.
I don't know.
I don't know them well enough. They'll play really well. I always fear a team that's as talented as Oregon and just haven't quite put it together. That always concerns me because when I watch them, and I see the punt return go back for a touchdown and the kickoff go back, and I see guys wide open, and I see guys on defense. And like I said, I was out there a month ago for 3 days.
What'd that offensive line look like?
They still look pretty good. I mean, and also, Dylan Gabriel's not looking that good. He's throwing at 84%. He was 18 for 21.
I don't think he's the problem.
Yeah,
Are they running the ball?
They're not running it with the numbers like they would like.
Right.
They're not running it with the numbers they like. And Bo Nix carried the ball more himself. We all know that he can, Gabriel can run, but he does not run the ball like they did in designed runs, like they did with Bo Nix. So it's a little bit different in that.
Gabriel got loose against Nebraska. I remember that.
He did.
Strangely.
He had a long run. Yeah.
Strange run. But anyway, wow. Saturdays are incredible.
Saturdays are incredible.
They are. This Saturday's incredible.
The Pac-12.
Yeah. The Pac-12.
Alive and well. 2-0.
Wow.
Doing well. And this is important for them, because just think about this. If those two teams go 8-4, 9-3, do whatever, I'm just telling you, someone's extending them an olive branch, not an olive leaf. An olive branch.
Who's it? No, what are you talking about?
I can see also in the Big 12 doubling back and just saying, you know what, come on. It works for us, for you to come into the league. I could see something happening for that to take place.
That the Pac-12 would double back to Oregon State and or Washington State.
Or Washington State. Or the
Big 12 would. Or is that what you're saying?
Big 12. So
Big 12.
What was I say? Would I say Big 10? In fact, the Big 12 would pick them up. Or the ACC, which is all spread out, and they've already got Cal and Stanford. So they might say, you know what? No. Why don't we just add these two teams and just make it that way we have a little bit better travel type of situation for a few games, and they play each other.
Yeah,
But I mean Washington State they stomped Texas Tech. They did. In the Mike Leach Bowl. They did.
I think that was 38-16.
Right?
I'm going to say 38-16, Jake.
But they were in control the whole game, in control the entire game.
Yeah, they must be pretty good. That game's probably hard to pick. Washington State, Washington.
Yeah, the Washington State can beat them.
Yeah, the score was 37-16.
37-16.
So you're off a point. Fix it.
Off a damn point.
Yes, fix it.
Interesting.
So anyway, that was my conversation.
I like it. I like
That's
it.
good. Wild
Card Wednesday, and then, like I said, you have to have rivals. And for Oklahoma State to do that, I'm down on that. Not down on Gundy. I like him as a coach. I love Oklahoma State. But I'd
like to ask Gundy that, though.
Because I was told that in the media, if it's right, that the Oklahoma's like, no, we'll play it. And they're like, no, we're not doing it because they were just upset. Just remember.
We'll have to talk to them in person.
Just remember, finally, what game are we finally going to see again? It's going to be epic this year. Texas A&M. That was one of the greatest rivalries of all time. And guess what? Texas just got mad. And they just said, we're not playing the game.
We're going to see that now.
And all of a sudden, now they're playing this year.
Yeah.
But that game should have never went away.
And I emphasize it all the time, but that is an example, a prime example, and maybe the prime. Well, Auburn, Alabama for sure, but that is hatred.
Hatred.
It's not even. It's not. There's nothing friendly about it. It's a hate.
It's
rival.
a hatred, and also like that they know what the other team is doing 24/7, 365. If it's Christmas Day and they hear hey, so and so got a hold of so and so like that, really? I mean, they know everything. Because if they miss out, if they screw up on a recruit, and one side gets them and the other side just didn't think much, and all of a sudden they're going crazy. I mean, did you think that didn't haunt Texas with Manziel? I mean,
yes.
as Manziel is Johnny Football winning the Heisman, and they're not. I think that didn't haunt.
And Texas isn't doing much at all.
Texas isn't doing much at all. That was haunting to those fans.
They had Manziel driving everybody nuts in College Station.
Do you think Ohio State didn't go crazy watching Michigan just get stomped last week?
Oh, God.
Ohio State they were in heaven.
They loved it.
Rivalries matter.
Today, it is a Cool Parenting Tips Thursday.
Cool parenting
Bill,
tips.
what's on your mind today?
This is one that's a little out there. Not going back to better
We're
times.
not?
This is current.
Oh,
Okay, that's okay.
Current times. Cool parenting tips.
That's okay.
Teach your kids. Fandom of the pharmacy. Fandom of the pharmacy.
I love where this
Start with a thank you. Start with a thank you. When you walk up, I always do the thank you. I appreciate with what you do. It's a mesmerizing work scene. When you go to the pharmacy, it's insane. It is like an air traffic controller. It's like an air traffic controller with upset people and confused people coming up to help
100.
you. And it is absolutely.
You got to mentally prepare yourself.
I absolutely love everyone who works in the pharmacy. You've got the drive-through going. You got 2 lines inside. You got double lines outside. Everyone's got an insurance problem. Well, what's wrong with my insurance? And someone's upset. Then there's a guy back there that's actually the true pharmacist is back there and he's answering questions about, well, I don't know, maybe you should try some penicillin with that, or maybe you should try this, all different things. They give you all kinds of answers. And also he's the guy that has to when you look over at the pharmacist, the stress level is incredible.
Yeah, you've never seen a non-frazzled pharmacist.
You've never seen and then you talk to him. I mean, it is just incredible. Like I said, and the people. So I talk to I always say, listen, I appreciate you guys so much for what you do. And it's amazing how much faster too if you say that. Like, I can get that filled for you in 10 minutes. Or if you're a clown, stop back tomorrow. I think it'll be ready for you.
How about after 12 on Friday?
Yeah. How about that one?
Yeah.
So they say, I go, do you guys get any, they stand the entire time. I go, do you get any time off? Any time they go, we get a half hour for lunch and we close down for a half hour at lunch. And the lady tells me, so they close this big, it's a retractable thing they put down.
At Walgreens.
She says, every day, people pound on it. Are you in there? They know you're in there, and they pound and they yell at the. They're sitting there eating like a tuna sandwich.
Wow!
Maybe out there, it's like an air traffic controller work scene. It's insane. And then all of a sudden that happens, and they've always got to be able to answer that. Like I said,
That'd be stressful.
You got to. Build them up.
I've noticed a lot of turnover at my Walgreens. That's why.
I'm sure when you look at them, it's like being like people of different medical things like they just get burned out and worn out. That job is insane. And you just look up and then just look at the people in line and waiting, and then just look right behind you. There's like 50 bins full of stuff that people have ready, and they just whip it up, boom, boom, pull things up. Mm-hmm. Some of the things that they've done for me, like, well, what about this or this? Oh, yeah, we can change that. We can do that. Boom, boom, boom. And they knock it out. It's incredible. Mm-hmm. It is incredible. Build up the pharmacist.
I like this.
Be a fan of the pharmacist. Embrace the pharmacist. Start out with a thank you before you even ask him a question.
See, when this started, I thought it was going to be a sports team thing where you should only root for one team. And it's like you should really only have one pharmacist.
One pharmacy.
You shouldn't be all over town. You should be supporting one pharmacist.
And that is true. I have. We're 70th in Pioneer. That's
I went
our
up
pharmacy.
I wheeled up to CVS, South Lincoln. thinking I was at Walgreens, and was dumbfounded. I was like, how do you not have my breathing apparatus?
You're at the wrong store.
Yeah, and it was very confusing to everybody. And then she said, "What is it possible? Is it Walgreens?" It's very possible.
Very possible. That's where I go.
Where am I?
It's very possible. That's
Confused.
I feel
think
like you
of
don't want
Jake
to
in
say
those
where am
moments.
I in front of the pharmacist either. That's a concern.
Where am I?
That's a
name
concerning
is
note
Steve.
to have in your file.
Anyway, thank you.
Your picture's up in the back. If this guy stops you, just tell him go across the street. This is Steve Sipple. Here's his picture.
He's a common violator.
Please,
There's a lot of confusion.
Comes here quite often.
I swear to God, I got that. You guys answered the
And
call.
also, what happens, you get the people that go sometimes, like, I'll jump in. Laura is the pharmacy person. She handles the pharmacy. But at times, I might have, and then I'm not the normal pharmacy person. So right away, I always walk up like, easy with me here. I'm on your
Walk
side.
me through this
I'm
one.
going to ask some questions here. Just help me out with this. And they do a really good job. And to be honest with you, they're really happy. They're in good place, but they deal with every other person. There's a problem.
Right.
Someone's upset, and right away you hear them just talking like that. Well, that's a lot of money. Like that. Well, I don't set the prices. Right. They're not the ones that are back there going like, "Hey, listen, I just saw this person pull up in a Range Rover, jack up the money on the amoxicillin." Like that. They're not. That's not what happened. We don't set the price. Like, you're right now. Your insurance is not covering this. Like that. Well, why? Again, that's not me. That's the insurance. I don't have anything to do with that part of it.
So abrasive.
Yeah. So just it is.
Why? Where am I at?
Is there any chance this could be
easy?
So fandom of the pharmacy. And the main pharmacist answers. You just look over when you're at the deal. Look over to your right, and you'll see him, and he's stressed. He's counting. Because if you put the wrong pills in the wrong deal, you can kill somebody. It could be a bad deal.
That's true.
So he's got pressure on him. That's like it's not like he's not at the candy store,
right?
Type of deal.
Pharmacist is a important tag. I mean, that's an important job.
How long were you at the wrong place for before you figured it out?
There's a back and forth.
Were you in the line for a while too?
I was
stood for a while in line. That's the best.
No. I was in a drive-through. If that helps the story at all. I mean,
that's even worse.
That doesn't help the story.
Does it mitigate it a little bit? I was in a drive-through, and there was a back and forth with the lady.
Like a noticeably different color scheme of the buildings of the two?
I don't know that there's not a
Walgreens?
big difference. There was just a back and forth that was interesting.
How about the fact that
I know that I called and it was filled. I know this, so this is really confusing to me. And then it was confusing to her too until she asked the question. Now, could this be at Walgreens?
Yes.
Oh God, yeah, it is at Walgreens.
They will help you. They will help you so much. And there's sometimes she's like, if they say, "Well, do you want to wait and have it filled?" And I'm like, "Well, is that possible? I know you're swamped." Next thing you know, your stuff comes out pretty fast.
It does.
It does. But now, if you want to be the old, it'd be nice to get it. I'm sick.
Are you the person? Here's a good question for you. Are you the person that when you call in, do you go with the automation or do you need to talk to somebody?
I need to talk to someone.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
I
what
don't like
figured.
the automation.
Yeah, I don't like the automation.
See, I've recently
It
just
takes too
changed
long.
to automation, and it works. It
Yeah,
works.
it's okay.
It's so long.
Big risk there.
I just love that you get a text message now. Ding,
Yeah.
that your stuff's ready. It's like,
Yep.
oh, wow, how about this?
I'll be
Things are-
damned.
Yeah, I'll be going to hell. Imagine that back in the day. Imagine our parents back in the 70s.
Yeah.
No,
Oh, no.
they had to go in.
Yeah.
They had to deal with Kins Rexall and Pender.
Ken's Rexall.
In the small town, they don't. The pharmacist was always in a higher booth.
He was.
You had to look up.
Or she was.
She was. So it's like this. You have to look up to him. Excuse me.
And they'd always have glasses on. Readers.
Readers on. You have to look up to him just like this. Excuse me, I'm here for my. You had to look up.
Here for your dad?
Yeah.
I am not familiar with this. phenomenon.
Thule's drug in Columbus.
Yeah,
Are
so
you
they
familiar?
Have the behind the counter. It just stood higher, right? Like
Yeah,
that was,
yeah.
But I didn't. Thule's was not the Schaefer family
Okay.
pharmacist.
That was downtown.
Yeah.
That was downtown.
Yes, Thule's drug.
Fandom of the pharmacy.
Back to more of Bill's Thrills Rewrapped. Sponsored by Acres Equipment on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Bill, it's a Freaky Friday. What's on your mind today for Bill's Thrills?
Friday Fascination Football. Friday fascination.
Why do you have an
football.
envelope today?
I liked it better. Kind of like envelope. I wrote an envelope.
Yes, an envelope.
Number of times, and also I licked it so it shut, so it lays better. So I could write on it better. That's my stationery.
Very functional.
That's my stationery. Very functional. Jake tried to steal some of my thunder earlier, but I'm going to stick with it.
Okay, stick with it.
Bet the games. Tonight games.
Oh,
UNLV at KU. I think it's a must-win for Lance.
Why do you say that?
Must win. They're 1-1. Lost a game, probably should have won, or everyone felt they were going to win.
For sure.
Now they're at home. It's like, okay, we got UNLV. UNLV's really good.
No, are they
UNLV,
really?
They're 2-0 playing. They have a transfer quarterback from Holy Cross. And the reason they have him is because their quarterback transferred to USC and is now sitting the bench.
wow.
But this is
tonight?
This is tonight. This is a big game. The Arizona-Kansas State game is huge tonight, but guess what else it's not? It's not a Big 12 game. It's just like the Utah-Baylor.
weird.
That was scheduled before, so that
It is weird.
So it's
confusing.
Just think about this. So these two teams, basically, Utah-Baylor and Kansas State and Arizona, they're playing 10 Big 12 games. Can you imagine playing that? 10 Big 12. Now, one doesn't count in the win-loss, but it's still the formidable opponent.
Yes,
So
formidable.
again, must win for KU, in my opinion, in that.
Okay.
The other one that's really big, this is right here for Marty. Memphis at Florida State.
That's tonight?
What's it? No, this is we're into tomorrow now.
Oh, into tomorrow.
Into tomorrow now. That Memphis.
Oh, it's big.
It's huge.
Memphis is ranked.
Memphis is really good, and so I mean,
baby.
Are they favored or not? Let's see the line.
Check it out, Jake. Check it out. Get your mind off the Dolphins.
If this turned the other direction, and Memphis would it's still an upset to me. Would you agree with that, Steve?
Yes, if
It's
Memphis
still
wins.
Yeah, it's
yes,
still an upset.
Still an upset. Now, wait a second. A lot of pressure on Norvell.
A lot. Talk about a season over. They lost. First of all, they're 0-2. This would be season over. 0-3. What are they playing for?
Nothing. It's utter devastation like the Dolphins.
Utter
Yeah,
devastation.
Florida State is a 6.5-point favorite against Memphis tomorrow.
That's a big game.
They had a bye week, so it's big. BC at Missouri. BC and Missouri. Interesting. I think
Interesting.
I think Missouri handles them, but
I do too.
But BC is 2-0 when they have a quarterback. So it could always be.
Yeah, I think you guys overrate the Boston College quarterback a little bit.
Ooh, I don't know.
I know
like
it's
that guy.
2-on-1 on this, but I didn't see him in the light that you did.
Ooh, he's pretty good.
Okay,
Yeah,
he's fine. All right,
He
fine.
runs it
I'm going to
well,
push back on that, Steve.
That's fine.
On
Hey,
Fascination
by the way,
Football Friday.
Missouri has yet to allow a point this season.
Ooh.
2 shutouts so far. From
You know how hard it
Missouri.
is to shut anybody out?
Ooh.
Anybody.
Who they shut out,
They
Jake?
beat Murray State 51's Nathan, and they beat Buffalo 38.
Okay.
Nathan.
Keep going,
Nathan,
Jake.
that's
Keep
hard.
going, Bill.
That's hard.
Keep going.
Texas A&M at Florida is highly intriguing.
really?
Highly. I mean, just
Yeah.
talk about
Hey.
fresh. Talk about season over. Oh man.
Hey, here's one for you. Texas A&M has not won a road game in 3 years. Has not won a true road
Ouch.
game in 3 years. Now, Jimbo, he must have been close because he's a great coach.
doesn't want a road game.
Of course. Without research, he had to be close because he's
that
awesome.
game, and it's on fire because they played the freshman quarterback, played well against a lesser opponent. So now the big thing now is they're like going, well, Graham Mertz, as you talked about,
Graham.
should be the guy. Still
You
the
love
guy.
him.
But they're like, no, go with the freshman and try to build some sort of momentum. It's kind of like a Dylan Raiola type of thing where maybe he can help bring other recruits in. Like, hey, he's our starter,
Okay.
he's our guy. So there's a lot of things going on right there at that spot. Washington State at Washington. I talked about the Apple Cup. That's an incredible game for us. But the must-see game of the week is, as we talked about, Indiana at UCLA.
Yes.
That's one that you can't. I mean,
During the Nebraska game,
I cannot wait to see it. I'll be watching that game like that.
you'll be flipping back and forth.
I was flipping back and forth like that. Google me against UCLA had one game, then they had a bye week, but they won 16-13 on the Rock at Hawaii.
Yep.
Yeah, to try to do that. So I don't know how that's going to go down. That'll be interesting. Like that. I think UCF at TCU. TCU 2 years ago was in the national championship game.
Yep.
And so I mean, people still kind of
They faded off.
We forget that.
They
by the
faded
way.
off like 1 year. They were in the national. Imagine Nebraska in the national championship game.
Yep.
I mean, 2
Oh
years
no, I know. Now that all these conversations are very informative. You can be in a national title game and then fade off the radar really fast.
Really fast.
You can.
Which they
TCU did.
And then there's also one that's going to be interesting. I thought I would just hit on real quick. Chiefs Bengals. I'm making my first NFL appearance.
Whoa.
Yes, I will be.
You'll be at the game.
Yeah, me and Laura.
You'll be here Monday,
Well, there's
though.
multiple layers to this.
Okay.
One is that we're going to meet up with the Burrow family in the parking lot.
Okay,
And
the
they're
Burrows.
gonna have a little tailgate.
Jimmy?
going. So we're going to with Jimmy and his wife Robin and the family. So we're going to meet up with everybody. We haven't seen him for a few years, so that'll be kind of fun. But I've been invited by the Swigerts, Lauren Swigert, and the reason why is because you know how big Nebraska is with the Chiefs.
Yes.
I mean, there's so many season ticket holders from Nebraska that have down there. So the Hunt family for the Chiefs are honoring former greats of Nebraska high school football, and Lawrence Swigert being the leading tackler at Norfolk High.
The Hunt family.
The Hunt family is honoring him, and so I am honored to be in attendance.
Schweiger is going to be
Swigert is going to be
treated
royally, as he will be one of the honorees for being the leading tackler in the history of Norfolk football.
The Hunts decided.
The Hunts decided this.
Arrowhead Stadium.
At Arrowhead Stadium. This is incredible. So I'll be part of that. Laura will be there, and like I said, and so I'll get a chance to.
What a day!
What a day that's going to be. Yeah, so I'll be coming in on fumes on Monday.
Okay, you'll be here Monday for a full report.
I'll be here for a full report. Give the full report. So I'm heading down there. I talked to.
Oh, I'm interested in a full report. I could just try to kind of pay attention to what's going on around you. Take mental notes.
We have really good seats because Swigerts have really good seats, and the Hunt family made sure they were very well taken care of.
He's getting honored.
Yes.
I mean, will you meet the Hunt family?
I believe I will. I believe I will. I will be in the owner's box at some point in time with the Swigert family.
Wow.
Yes. Incredible.
Wow.
Now, that's an appearance.
Yeah, you know what's interesting about this? What's going on? If you guys I always say this: take a step back, take a deep breath. Football season is fascinating. Just look at what today we've talked about. The Dolphins season is over. These games are when the games start, it gets so incredibly real. I mean, you're talking about Florida State possibly going 0-3. Think about the lives that are affected. I mean, it's amazing what goes on in college football. When the games start, life gets so real. It's amazing. And, you know,
there's epic people that come out of nowhere, teams, failures,
good
intrigue,
stuff. Yeah.
Storylines of
God.
feel good storylines of someone that's playing well.
Yeah.
All these different things that go on. It is. And then,
it isn't interesting. It's fascinating.
I mean,
just the stories that crop up so quickly.
I mean, Tallahassee. I've been to Tallahassee recruiting, and so I don't know anything close to you. And obviously, Marty lives there. But can you imagine the effect right now in that town of being 0-2? I mean, that is I mean, the things think that they've lost 3 straight. They lost the bowl game, and they went 13-0. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine the difference of what's going on in that? What that was like last year at this time, or at the end of the season? They win the ACC with was it their third string quarterback? Wasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, I think it was.
Is their third string quarterback? They beat Louisville and they win it. You think they're going to the playoffs? No. And then it's just been. And when you look at,
then they got crushed in the bowl game. I just wonder if that's what's affecting them.
63-3.
How about when you see Norvell now? He looks disheveled, and I know. And
just look down.
Oh yeah, you just like. I mean, you told him when he walks by, Marty's been giving him the double palms up, and he drives by.
Well, even when I talk to Marty, I don't even want to bring it up. No. I don't want to bring up Florida State. I just dance around it. Now, on the other hand, I mean, Nebraska's 2-0, and think how it changes things. But yeah, just think how it changes things. I'll just keep it at that. It's amazing when it starts. I mentioned it the other day. Think about Notre Dame. The situation Notre Dame's all of a sudden in versus Northern Illinois, which is like euphoria.
So they had Notre Dame beats A&M. Everyone had them locked in at the 5 seed.
Right.
They have a shoe in. Now the conversation is that does Freeman survive the season?
Exactly.
Does he survive the season?
Right.
That's what's going on right now.
Now, all this is fun, though.
Yes.
I mean, it's fun for us because we're onlookers. Yeah. But if you're Freeman, it's not fun.
It's not fun.
And really, if you're an assistant for Freeman, it's really not fun because you're not making $9 million.
The head coaches are fine. They're
Don't
fine.
worry about
that.
Always remember
coaches know. Coordinators, pretty much fine also. They'll fall back into that. Assistant coaches, not so fast.
Not fine.
Not so fast.
Not fine.
And it's like, well, that's not a problem. I'll find their job really easy. The job numbers are limited.
I know.
So it's just that's just not how it works.
It's a brutal business. It's so bottom line, Jake. If we have 4 bad shows, we're probably not going to get fired. If you had 4 bad games, you might get fired.
And you're going to Purdue. Purdue's they hinges on this game,
right?
And they're pissed about the drum. There's some anger here. The drum was not allowed into South Bend the stadium.
Oh, can you imagine if Purdue beats them? That drum will be whipping right up and down their sidelines. Yes. They'll be banging it right in front of Freeman. Just
hey,
banging
Marcus!
it. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. Even though I doubt Marcus made the decision on not having the drum, he had nothing to do with it. No, but it'll still look that way.
It'll be a headache.
Yes.
Oh,
that is wonderful edition of Bill's Thrills.
God bless you.
Friday.
Those are a lot of good games.
How about the fact that everyone is intrigued, to the utmost for Indiana, Google, UCLA.
That should be. So Indiana's favorite on the road.
You're gonna learn a lot about Nebraska's schedule. If you're a Nebraska fan, I just think that game is really important to you. You're gonna learn a lot about two teams that you
100.
play. Yeah,
100.
Mainly Indiana. I mean, what if Indiana it's at UCLA, right? If they go there and win convincingly, that'll get everybody's attention. Even though UCLA is down.
Yeah.
You'll be like, oh God, Indiana. And I half expect. I think Indiana will win by 17.